Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the greatest channel on YouTube. We're back. You guys thought that we weren't going to post a video, I'm sure. Now, if you guys just stumbled upon this channel, you watch football, you just listened to a little reaction, thank you guys. And sorry this is a little late. If you guys live under a rock, my main thing I do is gaming over on my main channel, and FC25 has come out this week, so it's been a really crazy week. Really crazy week. 35 hours live in 4 days, plus, 4 uploads a day on 2 different channels, and then working out. It takes the life out of you, man. Plus life on top of that. So it's not an excuse. I'm just saying I really haven't had the energy to record for this channel. I'm very excited today because we're going to be recording and talking about Champions League. I'm going to kind of give you guys my reaction. Now, we made a couple predictions on this channel previously, so we'll go through those. And if you guys enjoy the video, a thumbs up is really appreciated. So what we'll do first, we'll go through the predictions that we made. We obviously made a couple other predictions, but off the Champions League Predictor app. We were talking through some of the games, what to expect, but we'll go through, talk about these, kind of what happened, what we saw. We're going to go through I'm going to give you guys some analysis and just thoughts on all the games that I saw this week. We have a break this week, which is, kind of depressing because this new format for me, oh my God, it's amazing. The new Champions League is awesome. I love it. Some people were kind of hating on it. The main critique I've seen is that now there's so many games and they're kind of all on at the same time. So some people don't like that, but man, it's been pure cinema. So look, this was one of the toughest picks. This Juventus PSV game, where it went wrong for me is that I just overrated PSV generally. They scored 20 goals in 4 games in the league, but Juventus is proving to us this year that they are no joke. And let's be honest, that PSV goal came out of nowhere at the end of the game. So Juventus are looking really, really the real deal. I mean, they've done nothing but be a serious team in the Serie A this season. They've really surprised me. If you were to have somebody tell you that you felt like Juventus was going to be playing much better than Milan in the league, that would be a little surprising. So shout out to Juventus. I was really in between having Juventus win by 1 goal or a tie, and honestly, they should have won by 3 goals. So we got some points with them scoring first. We look at the Milan game. I predicted Milan to score first and then Liverpool to win. That was pretty much our best pick of the weekend. Liverpool ended up winning 3-1. They got a goal at the end with, I think Szoboszlai scored it. So that was our best pick of the weekend, or I guess the week, right? Bruges, I had 1 goal for them. Dortmund, I had 3. I knew Dortmund was going to score goals. I thought Bruges would get 1. We got some points there. Man City, Inter, boy, did we get it wrong. Inter just always a really tough matchup. That was a rematch of the final, so nobody scored in that game. That was a 0-0. We got no points there. All right, we got Leverkusen 3-1 against Feyenoord. Feyenoord actually should have scored. Like, watching this game, they should have scored. We played my booster on that one. We got some points. And then Atleti Leipzig, we did not get right. So I would say overall, not an insane week of predicting. 30 points. I don't know where that puts me. I think I have a league with, I don't know how many people I have in this league total. It just says 1K plus. We're probably middle of the pack. Somebody's got 83,000 out of 410,000 people in the overall one. We're 162. So not a horrible week, but definitely not a great week. We got some points, nothing crazy. Fantasy. This is where you guys will be really interested to see how I'm doing. Oh my God. Like, oh my God, I got 134 points this week. I captained Kane, the team just overall. I mean, Arsenal defense, can you go wrong? Thank God Raya stopped that penalty. Wirtz obviously getting me a ton of points. And if we look overall, I have a league with over 1,000 people. I'm ranked 9th in that league. And in the world, I'm 1,000 out of 900K plus. So I'm literally cooking in fantasy. No way this continues. We'll see what changes we make for next week. We'll do another video about that probably next weekend. This week is just more of an overall recap of the UCL, the competition that, obviously we all love. So it's so weird to see that we've got this whole like table format now. Obviously you've got a top 8, you've got a middle of the pack, and then you've got a bottom tier, right? So crazy to see this format, 36 teams. And we're going to kind of go through, I picked out some games to talk about. So I predicted that this was going to be destruction. I had a feeling that Bayern were going to score a ton of goals. And my analysis of Bayern, I'm starting to feel a little different about them. Now, Bayern are very similar to me of like a Real Madrid in the Champions League. They just will be there. It doesn't matter what the year is. Like, they will just turn up they'll be in the knockouts every single year. This team is just, they're kind of like this step below Real Madrid in terms of like Champions League heritage, because nobody gets on the level of Real Madrid, but they do have Champions League aura. I mean, it is no joke to score 9 goals against any team. So I thought they were going to win. Like, I thought this was going to be like a 5-1, 5-0. I can't say I thought this was going to be a 9-2. And my favorite part of watching this game was watching Kimmich scream at the team to go forward when they had 8 goals. Like, Kimmich wanted 10 goals so badly. And I want to say this. I talked about this, I think, in a previous video, but I mean, my God, 6 XG, Jesus. Kane obviously had 3 penalties, but Something I noticed with Bayern that they have again with Company is that Company is coming to this club and he knows the identity of what Bayern want to play. And the style of Bayern over the times has been just pure attacking football. And that's something that I think got lost with Tuchel. It's nothing against Tuchel because I think Tuchel is a really good manager. I think, he's proven, right? He's proven that he can get it done, but that's just not the style that Bayern play. And honestly, for the players they have, it's not the player style they should play. Olise is looking like one of the greatest signings of the season. We're talking top 5. He is so legit. And it's such a good move that he got out of Palace because Palace have been so bad this year. So thank God for his own career trajectory. He got out. Bayern's looking very scary. We'll go ahead and look at the next week matchups. Just a little quick preview at the end, but I want to talk about these ones. Real Madrid, Stuttgart. This one, to be honest, Endrick scoring at the end. This is kind of right where I expected it. I thought this was going to be a Real Madrid 1-goal win. Stuttgart actually played a little bit better than I expected. They outpossessed Madrid. Madrid are kind of just, they're looking like they're really missing Toni Kroos. So I don't know with Madrid. I mean, they've got that aura. And, when it comes to the large games, they're going to be really scary in the Champions League. If they can put themselves in a position to get to that round, that knockout of 8 or 4, because they're just going to be so intimidating alone off the players they have. But it's about them getting to that spot. The key to them is also going to be, man, they need Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham is like, he's going to have to stay healthy for this team to win. I just don't know if they're going to be able to do it without, not having Jude and Tony is going to really hurt. And Tony is obviously not there anymore. So it's like they got to move on, obviously, but they need Jude. I think Jude is going to be the X factor for them, going forward. Milan, Liverpool, Milan, just, oh my God, man. Milan, the manager's they're taking shots at the manager in the post game. Liverpool looks so solid, man. This is the thing with teams that are elite. You need to, I think you need to have that amazing back 3 in the middle, right? And having Alisson, Konate, VVD, they are really, really solid. So I like Liverpool. I think Liverpool have a lot of really good players, and I don't think they have anyone with like crazy high egos. I just think they have a great squad, and I think they have more depth, obviously, than they had last season. Being able to rotate like Chiesa, Diaz, Darwin, dude, they're really solid. So that Chiesa signing is looking better and better by the day. He's going to keep getting more minutes. I like them a lot. I think Liverpool's going to do really well this season. I have them predicted 3rd in the Prem. They might even do better. They just look really, really complete. They're going to be a really tough team to beat. I could see them having draws even in the Champions League and stuff, but this is going to be a team that's not going to be easy to take down and beat. So doing this was really impressive, especially away. Really like this result for Liverpool if you're a Liverpool fan. So Villa, we predicted this too. I thought Villa was going to do a lot better than Newcastle did when they just entered into the Champions League, and that's the Emery effect. Their largest question mark is going to be their health. Can they stay healthy? I like Villa a lot. I think they play great football. I think they'll do well. I think they're going to get into that 9-24 spot in the Champions League, and I think they'll have a chance at the knockouts for sure. I guess that's the pre-knockout, the mini knockout, right? Maybe there's a chance they even get to 8. I mean, they don't have the easiest schedule of all time, but I think they could get it done. Let's see who they have ahead real quick in the Champions League. I'm just curious here. So we look at fixtures. They're going to have to play Bayern, which is going to be tough. That's going to be home. That'll be a really good test for Bayern. Bologna, that should be manageable. Bruges, definitely manageable. So Juventus is going to be tough. And then Leipzig. So, yeah, they're going to have to make sure they get the points against Bruges and Bologna. And that's still not going to be easy. But if they can do that, we were looking at this preview of Champions League before we even looked at this, and we kind of thought, hey, if you get 10 points, you might get in, right? You might secure yourself into that 9-24, 9 or 10 points. I don't know what the points is going to be for the upper. And we just talked about this one because we went through the predictor. Juventus are so serious this season, so watch out for them. They may end up being just, I'm not saying this is a bad 11, but the way they're just playing together for these players, the names they have in that 11, they're really overperforming, in my opinion, and that doesn't mean they can't continue it. We just might have to start respecting them as, hey, this team is nasty, right? This team is really good. Man City, Inter, obviously Man City creating more of the chances. Inter will be happy to deal with this. Inter are kind of like they just play a really sweaty style. They're not easy to beat. I think Man City will be totally fine. I don't know with them. Is it going to be the year? Are they going to go for it again? I mean, Haaland obviously is playing crazy, but I think in these larger games, Haaland does struggle a lot. I think it's hard for him to get open. I think people will be quick to meme him. I just think it's really tough for him to actually get open in these larger matches. It's just not easy for him. He doesn't have the same space. He can't be that get in behind just killer that he's been in the Premier League. So That's going to be a question mark. Obviously, De Bruyne went off injured. I don't know how serious it is or not, but a point here against Inter is not the end of the world. I mean, these are two teams that honestly, even Inter, I expect to get to the top 8. So that was one of the more premier matchups. PSG won in the last minute. They absolutely dominated Girona. Girona do not look good this season, pretty much anywhere. I just don't. I don't know. They're okay. You know, they're not as bad as some of the other teams in this competition, but really impressive from PSG, just the overall control. I mean, the second half, they literally controlled the whole half. They got lucky to get the 3 points in the end, but every time I look at this PSG lineup, I like it more and more. And even the depth they have too, being able to bring in Kolo Muani, Desiree Douy is really good, Kang and Lee is really good, Joao Neves is really good. So the more and more I see this PSG team in the league and in Champions League, I like them. I think they're gonna get a top 8 spot, and I think they're gonna surprise a lot of people. I keep saying that I think PSG is slept on. I just think overall they are. Like I thought they were so unlucky to not get in that final last year. And they pretty much have the same team. You know, obviously they lost Mbappe, but it's week in and week out. I mean, I'm not saying Barcola is the player Mbappe is, but we keep seeing that Barcola is really good in that spot. So they do have that position already filled, which is surprising. It's not easy that Mbappe leaves the club, right? And you have somebody that's, you know, probably 50% of the player he is and at least good enough to play that role. And Barcola's been doing nothing but be great this season. So Celtic, I want to talk about anyone who's watching the video as a Celtic fan. You guys should be jumping for joy right now. You guys absolutely cooked. I thought you would win, but the best part about Celtic, if you're a Celtic fan, they've got 3 points already in the Champions League, and they have a very favorable path here. You know, they're going to have to play Dortmund, which I don't know if they're going to get points there. They're going to go away to Dortmund and then away to Atalanta. Both of those are going to be really tough. But then home against Leipzig, you know, if you can get a point there, home against Bruges, and then away against Zagreb, right? So Celtic getting 3 points here, absolutely massive to potentially secure themselves into the 9-24 spot. They're not going to get into the top 8, but Celtic could really do something. That would be crazy for Celtic, and that's why the new competition is amazing, because it's going to give a team like Celtic, you know, a chance. It's going to give them a chance, right? So it's very exciting. So as we head to next week, obviously this is the week after this week. We've got some fun matchups. Leverkusen at home against Milan should be good. Arsenal hosts PSG. This will be a very good test for PSG to see how they play. They've been so secure defensively, but they're going to play against the best defense in current football right now, in my opinion, which is Arsenal, combined with the goalkeeper. They are unreal, bro. So it's going to be interesting to see how PSG play away at Arsenal. That one we got to watch out for. Other than that, if we go to Wednesday, other matchups that are interesting, I guess Leipzig hosting Juventus is nice. I think Villa home against Bayern is going to be a really cool watch too. There's no Thursday match next week, it looks like. So, yeah, thanks for watching the video today, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and we'll see you in a video soon. Peace.